All right, everybody, let's get right to it. What's going on? In Tuesday the 24th already. Finishing out February. By Thursday, we're going to be looking at March kind of things. Already lining up for big monthly closes across the board. Meanwhile, we haven't really done anything. NASDAQ is up 300 today after being down 300 today. Yesterday, not a biggie. Right now, I'm looking for this midday kind of reversal up here. We're really close. Uh, a trade opportunity in here will go to uh, hit the reflector. And what I'm looking for, just a kind of a pullback, maybe down to 25K, but not ready just yet. Everyone else, what's going on? You know, I've been trying to sell this market all morning and caught it early and then just caught like the pre-market and then haven't really been too interested because around 24/7. The whole thing that we're looking at right now is, are we going to get this bigger breakdown? Because we've been sideways, we're back to where we were in September, and not a lot of progress for 2026. Depends on what market. Oh, you got to be kidding me. It's got to be. All right, hold on. All right, I'm going to have to take off the reflector. If that's buffering, it's not going to work. Hold on. Guys, give me a second here, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this up and make sure we're set up. Meanwhile, guys, yeah, no, I'm running too many programs. I got way too many things open, and I have to. I got to close some windows. I mean, not only some windows, but I had the. I've been running the reflector all morning. So, I think probably what I need to do next time is just restart and clear it all out before I stream. Anyway, everyone get over to harmonictrader.com. Okay, get the TradingView platform, HPC for TradingView. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. Do let me know if we have some problems, okay? If it buffers, I will switch and check. Where are we? We're on BearNet, so we'll come back to that. When I have too many plates in the air, you're going to break a few. That's for sure. Guys, either way, where's the opportunity right now? Where is the opportunity? What's moving in this market for real over the last 6 months? What's been moving? The only thing's moving is semiconductors. You know, AMD up 20 today. Why is that? Well, look, when we get into these kind of time periods, doesn't seem like a lot's coming together. We have to line things up. Applied material confirmation trigger at 200, now 215. And this is the kind of setup that I think we want to be looking for in a lot of these type of stocks. I mentioned that last time. And again, it seems like not a hell of a lot's going on. But in fact, we're getting a lot of setups. A lot of things that are triggering or have triggered in the last 2 or 3 sessions. Wolf, I can get to that. You guys know how I've been about the semiconductors. Okay, you just keep buying them. One of the ones that I mentioned recently, and I started this last week. Okay, down here, Amcor Technology. I think this is another one of these semis. It's only a 12 billion market cap, where we get this stuff kind of going and kind of new cycle expansion of the semi cycle. This one's perfect. And, arrow, diamond, dot. check back uptrend. That's, a couple of ideas, couple of things to be looking at right now. Setting up. Here's another one. This is highs. They threw it back down, but look, this is another opportunity here. Because what I'm saying and what I'm seeing, that's $5. You go back to, what's that, June of April, a year ago. Hello. But this thing is still on an uptrend, pretty aggressive, and we're taking shots at that. Or the other one's Microsoft, guys, and I don't want to it's not be too boring, but we do have a whole bunch of harmonic stuff going on down here. 352 is the hop level. We're now 386. We were down yesterday. We're getting close to the 374 minimum, and I'm going to say this is probably setting up for the biggest opportunity in a year to get in on Microsoft. Challenging a lower trend channel was 22. Understand this is a big off the all-time highs. I mean, this is, look, you're down here. Paint the picture for you. You buy that. Okay, it's either this is going to go to zero or Bitcoin's going to go to zero. Which one do you want to ride to zero? Which has the less chance of going to zero, quite frankly? And that's Microsoft. And I don't care what Bitcoin does, and we'll get to Bitcoin in a second because that thing's about ready to implode and become sheer toxic waste. But something like Microsoft, guys, check out. I mean, long term, it's such a crazy long term trend that it almost oversimplifies the whole notion of like what we're doing in the markets. And I want to be really clear. I don't care how you make your money. I don't care how you come up with your decision on where to buy and sell for anybody. I don't care how much money you make, how little money you make. It's all up to you. But in general, when we're looking for opportunities, guys, they look like this kind of a chart. And the assumptions we can make going forward, especially something like Microsoft, which is a quasi-government agency at this point, with all of the locked-in government contracts they'll have. Forget the noise, forget the news, look at the technicals, read this as like, a population growth chart. Okay? Any kind of growth chart. This is a growth channel. You're going back 10 years here easily or more. And this, I would say in the last 10 years, you've had one, this is the next one, but the last few were at 1, which was 25. And then the last real one was like 2022. And then maybe back in 2020. That's the level, the degree of how oversold Microsoft is. Doesn't excuse the fact that I'm still looking for clear oversold confirmation, HSI to pivot out. But get ready, okay? This is the real point of what I'm talking about today. It's kind of boring, not a hell of a lot happening, but we want to line up the opportunities. Because when they drop in, like let's say, I'll get to the bigger picture on the QQQ in a second, but if we get some kind of drop or big sell-off capitulation and we're retesting long-term support, it's not going to be down here that long. Be aware of that. Nasdaq's starting to roll over that. Nasdaq's starting to roll over 276. What do we got right now? Oh, I turned off the thing. Ah, shit. All right, I'll come back to this in a second. Oh, check that out. Little Gartley on what's that out? Little Gartley on what's that? Nasdaq futures 30-second time frame. 33-ish. Let me come back to that. S&P futures, guys. S&P's not nearly as bad, seemingly. I mean, we're really not too far off all-time new highs than Nasdaq. But here you go. Weekly chart. Are we rolling over? I mean, it's doesn't seem like a heck of a lot's going on. We're just sideways still. The only problem I have with what is going on currently, how are we going to resolve this sideways action? It's somewhat similar to last year, and if anything, I know I mentioned this last time. If this was last year, we'd be right where? Right here. Right there on the first day. Let me bring that up. If we're going to roll over, we're looking for a breakdown bar. If this was last year, okay, and some kind of early correction profit taking, we haven't moved anywhere. But this is exactly what we're looking for. One weekly candle. Now, kind of let's retrace it. There you go. Okay, there's 2025. We're going sideways, 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 and then what? We start the breakdown. What was going on before then? Well, even before the breakdown a year ago, look, we were at the 50 level, rolled over, and this was the other situation with HSI that was just steadily down. And then the bigger news, and we're going to use all the same, a breakdown on the weekly amplified. As soon as that hit 50 within 3 weeks, okay, but we got 15-20% shortly thereafter, but it was a quick shakeout. Where are we now? Some kind of breakdown of short-term support. That's 67.50. Okay, but look at what's going on with HSI, guys. All in the same kind of vein that this is eerily similar to last year. And not to mention, we just cracked the 50 on amplified. So look, HSI, amplified RSI, these are the proprietary indicators we use on the software. And they're repeating again almost to the week that we did a year ago. The one thing you need to look out for, do we get the breakdown? I would say that is, a crack of the February low. And that price level is 67.50. I'll tell you what will seal the deal. Again, be looking for this. If it's not by Friday, this could happen next week. But there's your limit right there. You break that down. This is amplified. Maybe that similar breakdown phase that we saw a year ago. All right, be aware of that. I mean, we're really threatening this. It seems like there's not a lot of things going on here from where we are, that this is kind of brewing for a shakeout. And then the shakeout would at least give us the next opportunity for the year. Even if we have really got two choices here, and this is S&P. Base it off of S&P. Like, we kiss that 7,000 level, scrape it as high as like almost 70.50. But now we're going to do some kind of like shakeout 1618 reaction. Just be aware that these levels are going to become relevant if we get that breakdown. Percent correction in a week, and that would trigger this larger move down to, say, 6K. Doesn't change the longer term. It just means, hey, we're going to set up and we're going to give you another chance to buy on a discount. But the fact that we're here for 6 months is, a lot, and we're coming back down the other side is really similar to what we did last year. Be aware of it. Yeah, the sector could rotate, but you're still going to get markets on a discount. And that was, what happened and where a lot of these got priced at the low last year, aside from being perfectly in terms of the long-term harmonic patterns. But that's like a once a year, once every 2 years opportunity. We may be getting that again. So let's not get complacent. Getting complacent, believe me, leads to more problems of just simply have to look for it. We're really close. And again, my trigger is simply the fact that HSI with and expect lower prices, and then the other part of this is look, amplified RSI is rolled over for another type of flush like where we were here. And that breakdown occurred, that was last week of February and set it off into early March. It's really similar. Okay? I mean, there's things to watch out for. I am constructive on a number of situations, but most of them are at lower prices. Jeez, I can't believe this. How is that lagging? Hold on. Hold on. Bear with me here. 1 second. How can I fix that? I thought I was plugged in. Hold on 1 second, guys. No. Where's the other one? Let me know what's going on. I mean, I might even just restart the whole thing. I am hardwired, but it's not direct, and so there are other lines running off of it. And I think you're right about that, though. There should only be one connection. It's going into a modem, which is then going into a wire and kicking out to like 3 connections. I'm really tempted to restart, guys. Maybe I should just restart this. What do you think? You guys let me know. Are we still buffering? Because it really shouldn't be. All right, so we're still buffering. That's what you're telling me. That's brutal. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to restart. It's that bad. Not buffering. All right, let me get a vote in the chat. The next 10 votes will determine restart or stay. It comes and goes. No buffering. Good. Couple more. Let me know, guys, because I have no problem to restart this. No buffering. Restart. Okay, it's good now. If it buffers, let me know, and then I'll restart. Appreciate that. All right, let's just stay with it. I'll stay with it. If it buffers, let me know. Really quick. So if we get that kind of sell-off, guys, if we get that sell-off in major markets, that's probably the catalyst for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin here was already floating down, been floating, kind of sinking, all the way down at 63 this morning. I mean, forget about it. And so I want to kind of line up those steps as well. So we're not surprised. We know this thing has been, ever since the 111 breakdown, I've been really clear about this, and that was mid-October. Then we were looking for 93, and then 77. Okay, and now what? There's only one left. How do we get to 39,000? And this could set up. So think about it this way. If we've got this stuff in NASDAQ, we've got this stuff on S&P 500 where, hey, those haven't triggered just yet, but they're really close. And we already know that this is the only possibility for Bitcoin. Well, that's going to be a hell of a flush. I mean, you would have to have like a full-on asset dump to get down to 786 world, which is, I'm going with 39K, by the way. It depends on the data feed. I mean, some of it's been, depending on the data feed, it could be 36K. I'm just saying 39K because it's sub 40K no matter what, and we'll know. Like when we get down there, we'll know. So if we're going to stick with that, which we are, how does this look so far within that whole segment where weekly candles refuse to even print? Forget even a green. They don't even want to print a doji. They don't want to be, they're barely, there's no stabilization. This is not even barely inside. And if anything, since that last breakdown candle, first week of February, we have failed to rally above 70K. That is just crazy weak. Where 70K is now the ceiling. It's the immediate ceiling. What the heck? You know what, guys? Hold on. I think I see the problem. This is, now I know why I've got to remove this. That's why I'm buffering. Why is that Adobe shit running in the background? Hold on for a second. Oh, you bastard. I'll have to fix that. All right, I don't know what's going on there. I think I know why it's buffering though. Anyway, how are we going to get to 39K? First, just understand 70,000 is your immediate ceiling. That closed from 3 weeks ago, and we're going to have the monthly. That's the other situation. This is still, you're not going to come back and retest that. Maybe scrape it, and it's a lot like what you had back at 94K, but I doubt it. And the one major candle that's going to break 60K, and I think this could happen this week, is some kind of flush underneath here. You go to like 59K immediately. It would be something like down here. You flush under 60K, 59K. And again, I said this on Thursday. I'm looking for this to happen in the next week, the next 5 days, by Saturday. We're 59K by Saturday. Okay, and the other kind of projection that you can look at for Bitcoin, where this is just the weekly candle for this week. It hasn't even come close to finishing yet. But just do the next throwdown 1618, guys. And so then Bitcoin finds itself running to 50K, 48K quickly. That's the assumption you should be making immediately with Bitcoin. Forget 64K, forget 70K, and all of these other numbers we talked about. We're not rebound. It just blows my mind how people are saying, okay, the bottom's in. It's getting really annoying and it's surprising because these are smart people. These are smart people. that are telling you, oh, the bottom's in and we're going to 180K. No way. Guys, if anything, we're on the verge of a major acceleration breakdown of this 4 week range. Take it down and just another 1618 down. And it's such a simple assumption. So it's pretty much going to be like 59K, 58K, and then sub 50, 48. And now, I mean now because the other metric that we're looking at right here, amplified, excuse me, HSI, just swimming in the oversold. We continue lower week over week. It is that's a remarkable amount of pressure of selling pressure. And then look at look, there's amplified. Okay, not only is that not turning around, it's gone lower. So take a look at this. We'll come back to this on Thursday. But I am not going to be surprised if I see 59K in the next 48 hours. It's that weak. It's about to fall apart. And here's the monthly. Okay, a monthly, that's a big deal. That monthly has gone there. And monthly is sub. It's now 29.9, 29.8 on the amplified RSI. So yeah, we're oversold, and it's a monthly chart, which is insanity. Okay, but it's not even a consideration until that gives an inflection out. And that won't happen right away. That's not going to happen this month or next month. So this is what the candle's going to look like. Just so that we've had this talk. You're going to have that red candle for the month. And then you'll do something like this. Kind of flush it down. Hold on. Let me clean this out. Restart that. So if we're sub 59K, 2-3 days, it's like that. Let me actually do it this way. And we'll just kind of add on to that candle here. Come on, where'd it go? All right, there you go. And it's going to look something like this. Come on. You're down to like 59K with some kind of wick. Probably like that. That's actually that would be more like it. Could very much see this kind of wick come in, and then over the next few days, maybe you get another bounce. Okay, and then next month is the final month where you get down to that 50K mark, 48K. Kind of like this, guys. All right. Maybe one more, and I'll show you the precedent. It's a lot like what we saw back here. Where are we? There you go. We go to the 2022 time frame. We're actually even a little faster. We get that breakdown, and then we start the bottom. That happened in June. Okay, and I think June's probably even more than enough time. I think this is more like April, maybe May. But we're just going to kind of follow this down. Ultimately, the worst that we could see is something like down here. And I'm not going to go that crazy, but I'm just going to highlight that 23K. It's like 23072 is a major confirmation trigger for us. Okay, from the prior cycle. It's also the all-time 886. I want to be in front of these levels, guys. Okay, and then you're going to realize everything that we did to get to this point. Everything that I've been talking about. Okay, why when we failed 111, that was such a miserable breakdown. And then by 107, it was over. At 107, that's what we said. 111 was supposed to be the launch pad to go to 160. It sat there for 4 months, did nothing, and then once we broke 107, that's where we threw in the towel on that breakdown. Now, how did we get all the way to here? Well, we were talking about 39K or a major 786 at 100K. When we had that major breakdown in October, look, everything was off the board. And then if we are truly in that bear cycle, we're going to repeat what we did the prior 4 cycles. So how we get there on BTC is like this immediately. We break 60K by Saturday or Sunday, and then we have just a real nasty month. Another nasty month. And seasonally, March, not a real great month for Bitcoin either. So be aware. I'm spending more time on this than I want to, only because I see so much blindly bullish noise out there that I want the Harmonic crew to know. Hell no. No thank you. It's not an opportunity. Not even close. And if anything, we're looking for this thing to lose as much as another 50%. Another 50%. Meanwhile, check out gold. And I think gold is going to crush so hard that what happened in the last month or 30 days was a quick one-off retracement, and we're just going to continue higher on that path forward. Okay, so gold, 5,100, no biggie. Not a problem for me. Let's get to gold 6K. How are we going to get there? Well, we're going to continue on this path going forward. So understand, nothing changes with this assessment. Gold will continue to go higher. It's the absolute opposite of Bitcoin. It's the absolute opposite chart. And it's been that way for a long time. So recognize that, guys. I really think gold is on this kind of pre-programmed path where you just stretch it out. We get to like this time next year, you're more like 6,500, and we will continue to have these retracements along the way, no doubt. I mean, the last 30 days was as volatile as anything, but these are one-off, shake-off moves. So go higher. Keep buying gold. Keep looking for retracement opportunities. The JNUG, junior miners, really interesting chart. I mean, this thing is just a crusher. JNUG miners, the junior nugget, can't even believe this thing. I used to trade this thing down in the 20s. I mean, back a few years ago. We're up here, really interesting crab pattern. Daily chart. But what's going on here? We never had a type 1, and we don't have any confirmation yet. So we could even go as high as like 360, but at least you have a really nice pattern there. Don't ignore it, and then the longer term trend. I'm looking for that daily pattern to break out, much like this last weekly pattern broke out. It caps it, then you break out and you continue. Same deal here with the crab. You're capping it for a while, and then you break out and you go higher. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Greg? I didn't even. What's up, chat? I didn't even. Sorry about all the issues. What's going on, Greg? Yeah, Peter Schiff is going to win. Peter Schiff or Michael Saylor. Again, Peter Schiff's going to win because the lower volatility, and I don't believe the rest of the world is believing the Bitcoin hype. I can't believe this. Hold on. Hold on. I got to. How do I get out of this thing? Hold on. I know this is. There you go. Thank you. I got all these apps running in the background. I think that's why I'm buffering. Anyway, so guys, stay with gold. That's winning. It's going to continue to win. Gold, let's go straight here. GC, straight back 5,400, 5,500 now. Currently 5,183. I say we go back to the top channel, top side of that channel. It's like 5,490 now. All right, so we're shakeout is over. We're going to ride this upper channel side. Short-term target is 5,400, 5,490. Silver, okay, a little more volatile. I don't think you're going to have as strong of a continuation, but silver too. Nice, massive shakeout. You guys need to be looking at this kind of as a kind of projecting it forward type of attitude where it's really like this. Your channel for silver is like this, and you're actually in the lower end of it. If silver was going to break down, guys, we would already be below 70. We're not. Last 48, 72 hours. Really nice turnaround. And this is where things can catch back up. Daily time frame is like this. HSI has been above the 50. We talked about that on Thursday. Check out what Amplified's doing now. Bang, above the 50. That's been there for 2 or 3 days. This is where price acceleration can happen. So silver probably run back to 100 pretty quickly. I think people are going to be surprised too. But understand, this is trending action. The other stuff, no, and we're going to avoid it. I mean, I'm not going to shame people on crypto. I'm just going to say, guys, it's in the wrong trend. You can't have the expectations people are trying to throw out there when the trend is down. Really quick, the other one was copper. And let me hold on. Where's copper? Copper CU, not heating oil. Thank you. Oh, give me a break. What the heck? Hold on. Where's my spot price on copper? This is the other one that had a couple patterns up here on the last retest. Where'd you go? A whole bunch of confirmation. But this too. Almost done with the retracement. Where's the... Hold on one second. Yeah, back up above the 50. All right. Gold topped out first, then silver. Copper kind of rolled over in tandem. But just looking for another continuation. Like, that's it. The thing about copper, which is a pretty good sign for the rest of the metals, is that it looks like this. You're just retesting long-term trends. Stocks, okay? Things like, where's Southern Copper? Copper. Hold on. Hold on. No, let me go Freeport McMoran for copper. FCX, all-time new highs about to break out. Okay, and you kick it up to the weekly time frame, monthly time frame even. Look at this, the cycle breakout. All right, this is the crazier part of long-term harmonics. Here's Freeport McMoran. Now it's drawing out, software's kicking out a bat pattern. Really, it's not the best pattern, but the bigger situation going on here, not only is it an all-time new high, you're cracking 20-year resistance and the all-time 886, which is always the barometer of whether or not something's going to demolish it, is all the way down there at 55. It's like that. Tell me what's going on there. And what could this become? You know, Freeport McMoran, to me, we continue, we close above 70 bucks. You're in a 1618 breakout. 99, 100 buck kind of move. You go back to the last time we challenged an all-time new high. Okay? You hit 886 and you stalled and you rolled over. That's not what's going on here. All right, big difference between this 886 and prior ones. I mean, even on the monthly, hit the 886, you stalled, you had confirmation, you rolled over, and then you were done for 5 years. What about up here? Nothing. Big difference, okay? Understand that these stocks are really starting to accelerate. They're not stalling out at long-term resistance. CDE is another one. Core mining, silver. Okay, now go back and look at your history because it matters. If a lot of these are going to do all-time new high kind of a thing, and then they're breaking out in a way that's just more than just a mini cycle push, then that's going to translate to the other ones. CDE here. Even though it has a crazy all-time history, a lot of reverse splits, all of that, the obvious 10-year history, we can go off of that. CDE making an 886 up to like 32. So these still have a ways to go. There's a few other ones. Where is ABX, Barrick? I think we talked about that last time. Hold on. No, it was, hold on. Well, what about AU, Anglo Ashanti? Yeah, look at that, 124. Holy smokes. There you go. Anglo Gold. Barrick. American Barrick. Barrick Mining. And remember, they changed it to B. Okay, Barrick. All-time 886. This is another one where if we're going to go and do the 1618 breakout, it's going to happen literally this month and the next month, 1618. No confirmation up here, guys. Just keep an eye on this. I'll be looking for entries, probably the last one right down here of back to 46. And understand that that correction, everything that kind of went down the end of January, early February, was just another retracement play within the long-term uptrend. There's a few others. And I want to start lining these up for that next leg higher. What are you guys looking at? I mean, I have a few more, but really want to focus on the stuff that's working. I mean, there's things that are blowing up left and right that aren't, worth anything. I do want to bring up, let's take a look at one of them that failed us, and then when it failed, look what happened. So we were looking at HIMS, massive long-term pattern down here. Where's the daily? It was a Gartley at $32. Okay, and this was a trend uh, uh, possibility. Okay, looking at this for a long time. What happened? We got that counter HSI, beautiful confirmation. Pops up, counter HSI, send it back down, and we never got that trending continuation. Why? HSI rolled over, never came back down. Amplified. Again, look at what Amplified did. Never got above the 50 all the way down. My point being is that a lot of these signals were getting generated before the price fully materialized. In the same way we looked at the S&P 500, okay, where we saw a lot of these breakdown readings. We see it on individual stocks. We're seeing it in the indices right now. They have yet to really fall apart, but a lot of these are starting to kind of fail like that. Just got to avoid them. You know, again, there are opportunities. There are retracement plays. Here's another one. I mentioned this, I think, last time. Reddit. Okay, I've been looking, just started looking at this last week. What is it? A Gartley. So we have patterns. Some look better than others. We have acceleration plays as well. All right. Got to monitor it. Got to just have to stay on top of it, even as boring of a time as it's been. Here's the last 6 weeks for Reddit. T1 generated right there. Confirmation came in about 2 weeks ago. Now what? Kind of a shame. Yesterday we printed the dreaded counter HSI signal. So let's look for that back down. It's not ready yet. This is kind of looking like HIMS. If this was day one back here around the 9th of February, and we've got it, you know, diamond, arrow, dot, diamond, dot kind of a thing. All right. And then we get a counter signal. It just means more time. Some of these patterns look ripe, ready to go. Others, they're not setting up in an ideal fashion. I'm more inclined to go play breakout plays at this moment. The miners, SLV, GLD, and just play them on hourly retracements until they fail. You know, GLDs like this. Where was that? Oh, I need extended hours here. There you go. Now, it's pretty interesting because at that low GLD, couple of patterns around 430. And then we get a higher confirmation and we have another one. So GLD is probably giving us another opportunity right here, 475. And I'd rather go with those, okay, than try to go bottom fish. Let me show you some fish swimming at the bottom of the sea. Things like Mara, okay, because people still ask me about these. What do you want to do with, you know, is Mara a buy? And, you know, we've talked about them for a long time. Oh, it did get to the 786 off that Gartley, but I still wouldn't buy it. It's a different creature altogether. It's not trending. If anything, this has rolled back down consecutive lower highs. And now we're just closing at the lowest level in 3 years on a monthly basis. So you got to look at charts and just say, no, I'm not going to even be fishing in that kind of a pond when there's no trend. A couple others that are in that area, we've looked at these before. Some low floaters, things that were somewhat interesting. Here's Hive, thinking maybe some of these data center plays might turn around. They've tested, they finally tested some patterns we've mentioned a while ago. And literally yesterday, today, you're putting in a lot of confirmation down here. And maybe it's a consideration starting tomorrow, but it's not in the right position. Okay, I'm saying this because really they're not trending creatures. Avoid them. Just avoid them for now. We're going to have to be selective, really selective. The other one was it Hut? No, that's working. But what was that? I'm not really crazy. I mean, that's amazing. I don't have any confirmation on that. Where was the last? Yeah, Hut. Oh, Hut's because it's a 4 hour crab pattern at like $60. Here's one I mentioned a couple weeks ago. Really starting to break out. Iron Mountain. It's a data center play. And remember, it was this. Okay, long-term uptrend. Whole bunch of confirmation, and we had the bat pattern right here. That was a deep crab. Type 1, type 2. Got to be selective. A couple more, and I'll take what you guys want to talk about. Already 130. Palantir, guys, at 130. Stuck there. Perfect example of beautiful pattern within the long-term uptrend. Has that given us what we need? Because there's HSI. It was above the 50. It just rolled back down. But the big one we've been waiting on, hoping that if Palantir was going to bottom at 130, we would see it and amplified by getting above the 50 level. Have not been sub 50 all year. So again, there's a difference. Be patient with that. We're right back at the level we've talked about the whole time. Haven't done much. If you're long that at the hop level, which was 131.86, just tighten up the stop. I mean, you might even want to scratch it out until that thing turns around. It's not a bad idea. It's just not in the right spot. It's going to take a few more trading sessions. Couple more. Yeah, BTBT is like those other ones. BTBT is like Mara. How disappointing was that? And remember we had that. We had the crazy crab pattern. You're bottom fishing down here, 170. It might work. I'm not saying it might not bounce from here. I mean, some of these do look like they could bounce. That is a type 2. But maybe you go 50 cents or maybe you go $1. So I'm looking for trend continuation plays. I'll show you a trend continuation play. This is what I mean. Walmart. Super boring, right? It only goes up. It only keeps going up. Here's a deep crab. We hit the hop level. I'm looking for this retracement. And we already got oversold. Wherever that next dot prints on Walmart, if it's 121 or even 105 at target 1, that's where I start to look for the trend continuation because this thing is on a tear. And will continue on this path forward. I mean, look at that. This is what you guys should be grabbing at. Markets that have a proven uptrend like that, and then we're looking for smaller time frame entries at the bottom of the long-term channel. I mean, it probably could even be, let me tighten it up. It could be like that, and could be like that. But that's what we want. The rest of it is you're going to be there a long time waiting. A long time. Uh, yeah. Hey, what's up, Mr. Affairs? I did see Verizon and it's yielding 6%. I know it was up above 50 yesterday. I was really surprised. Really surprised. This is a super long termer. Okay, so don't forget you're picking up 6% yield. That's not bad. What is it? Monthly Shark to 50. It just you've been there for 2 or 3 years. So realize that yeah, I mean I like it and I think Verizon with that most recent move above 47 gets you going again. It's a Shark to 50 and what this ends up being is just another long-term channel test. So yeah, I like it. Give me the 6% and keep going. And I mean, you guys know about these other ones. Philip Morris. I mean, geez, look at that. Monthly. Look at that amazing crab pattern, deep crab. That's a beauty. What about Altria? I'd say that goes to 194. I mean, I'm not going to jump in front of a crab, but Altria is the other one. Gartley. Maybe we get up to 76 hop level. I'm long that. Been long that for years and just will continue. Let's see what happens in the Gartley up here. A few others. I mean, just are they on an uptrend or not? Lockheed Martin, right? I mean, look at that. Look at Lockheed Martin, guys. And so you might say, well, Scott, that's a $650 stock, all-time new highs. You know, what am I going to do? You just wait, but get it on the radar where you're just looking for 4-hour oversolds. I mean, you could fat finger long every time. The last two, or we've had two so far this year, of 600 and 590. So some of this stuff seems like it's too easy, right? You know, how we just keep buying this, fat finger long this stuff? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, maybe not here, but on any kind of pullback. Things that I'm looking at that are on a pullback, you know, like that continue to do that. Um, what was the other one? Caterpillar, right? Just amazing. I mean, that's insane, insane. But that's a lot like Walmart. You're 768 now. I've been talking about this since 300s, but look what it did again. 4-hour time frame. We're oversold again on a 4-hour. That's just another continuation. You're not retracing this, is my point. Caterpillar is a creature that is on its way to 8 or 900, and you're not going to give back 50% of the value like Bitcoin. And so go ahead, fat finger long again, 760. One or two more. What was the? It escapes me. Was it Costco? Or maybe it was Meta. I mean, Costco, yeah, oversold down here. But maybe it was Meta. I mean, Costco is another one that did have a lower channel test. So this is resuming higher. And, again, 1618, we talked about that to go to 1200. Easy. Meta was the one, yeah. So Meta, like some of these that have retraced, are trying to roll over and backtest some lower support. Meta is it's a couple of things there, like 600 level, currently 640, and that's what it was. Another shark. And we're going to likely retest this. Did we? Hold on. Did we hit it today? The low point was 628.15. Today's low, 628.98. Really close to getting a dot here. And you're like Microsoft, this is another one of these at the low end, extreme low ends. But We can say that's on a trend continuation. What's up, Nance? AT&T, perfect example. Super sleeper, right? You got to go on an almost monthly time frame. Yeah, that overbought clearly on the daily right now. What's that yielding though? What is that yielding? Yield. It should be, oh, it's only not even 4%. That's not great. That would have been great down, maybe, well, we got to also remember that that was yielding more like 5% at the low in the beginning of the month. So maybe Verizon's the better play and AT&T's like this going back years. Practically left for dead. I mean, this is kind of interesting because this looked like, I mean, AT&T looked like it was toast down here just 2 years ago. And I think it was yielding like 8% at that point. What was the other one? Comcast. We talked about Comcast a while back. How that thing had rolled over like generationally for the decade and still has. And that's not yielding anything. I mean, that's a bit different than say a Verizon. What's Comcast yielding? 4%. Okay. But different chart than I'd use, I'd look at Verizon, a much stronger chart. I mean, look, Verizon's got full on type 2 return, long term uptrend, shark to 5.0. I like that Verizon. Really, that thing is, even if I just sat in it, give me the 7%, 6%. Different creature than the rest of this stuff, guys. Couple other things. Okay, those are pretty good ones right there. What's up, Mr. Plur? For Deere, John Deere. Well, they had that explosion. Look at that. Yeah, John Deere's like Caterpillar. Just playing catch up. That one. I mean, guys, that chart goes a lot higher. A lot higher. I mean, go and get it on the radar. A couple of daily overboughts, yes, no doubt. Let it come in, but again, you're 643. It comes back to 600. You buy it again because you're going to 800 or 1,000 over time. Give me 2 years. Give me 3 years. You're at $1,000. And CME, haven't looked at that in a long time. In fact, I haven't looked at the exchanges. Look at that, man. Yee, where were you in January? Look at that Gartley at 263, now 317. And these are also, look at this. Psh, nice crab pattern, but at this point, no confirmation. Go to the hop. Go to the hop. Yeah. And that's still on. This is, again, why these kind of trending situations win. Can we honestly say that Bitcoin looks like this chart? You go back to 2012. I mean, really? And in the end, what it's going to all be about, okay, all of these year over year percentage gains and best asset of the decade, maybe for a little while, but which asset's going to sustain the gains? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And do you want to be fishing in those areas where the chances are you could have permanent destruction? I'm looking for this, guys. I want to spend our time looking for beautiful charts like this and then lining them up and waiting for the low end retest like we saw in Meta. I think the number one is Microsoft. That's Microsoft is the closest one here to giving us that next opportunity, that next oversold trend test, like a lot of these. Versus Bitcoin. Again, just get perspective, which is like that. So where's the long-term trend test on Bitcoin? Is it like there's your median? We could almost do this. And then are we at the low end of that channel? No, we're more than halfway there. So look, I don't want to totally shit post on Bitcoin and just say that it's going to zero, but it's definitely in a deep retracement phase. And we're just going to be patient on it. Others that are working, others that are clear, like gold and Caterpillar and Walmart, and then looking for breakouts in these miners. We have shifted. Just understand that's what has happened here. This market has rotated hard, and a lot of these were unloved for a long time. There's Cummins engine. Again, look at that. You're up 12 months in a row. Cummins engine. Okay, and this is only an $82 billion market cap company. This could easily double, triple from here. Those are going a lot higher. Couple more. The other thing I was looking at, guys, I was checking in with biotech recently. I created a whole list here, and some of them have been amazing, no doubt about it. Some of them like Amgen. Okay, these are, people are not talking about these. And they're the big winners. I mean, look at that trend in Amgen. AbbVie. And these are the big pharmas. That's a $400 billion. That continues. Bristol Myers is an interesting one. Okay, because we have this big monthly type 2 shark that bottomed off of there. And you're looking for a trend continuation. So I really think that's an interesting chart. That's an interesting long-term play. BMY. And it's a lot like, remember I was hitting the table on J&J? Say this is a forever stock. This is something you buy it, you hold it, you never sell it. Well, there you go. And these that are really breaking free like this, understand that's it's been a continuation of the super long-term cycle. And if anything, these winners will continue to win. Couple others. If BTC is going to dump, then what about SMST? What's up, Greg? It's the strategy bear ETF. Maybe. Maybe. That must be brand new though, right? Like, how new is this? Unless this is probably older data. I'm not aware of that. I'll take a look. Well, we know the deal on MicroStrategy. And that is an 886 reset. I'm not even interested I'm not even looking until we're sub 100. Okay? And sub 100 is down here. It's a full 886 reset. So strategy is not going to change course anytime soon until we hit that reset. You're 3/4 of the way there. It's like this: X, A, B, and then C's up there, and it's got a Gartley alignment where the minimum 786 has been tested at a $1.25. You don't have an ABCD. So that's $75. Okay, another 30-40% lower. Not working. I mean, again, the easy assessment is What's the 1-2 year high? Where are you relation to the last 2 years? So still down until we hit that 886. If you want to go for that and play that other play, yeah, why not? I just I'm not. I think these are played out in my opinion. Coinbase, they go lower, and I've been talking about that for a while. The 150 low for Coinbase was hit 2 weeks ago. Not even 10 days ago. That's a big deal. That was the target we were waiting on. Okay, and we're trying to put in some oversold triggers down here. But you need a dot. You need a couple of things, quite frankly. You fail these lows, just understand if you find yourself under 130, guys, Coinbase is another one. It's going back to $75. And it's over. I mean, it's over in a bigger sense, too. Like this, the way you got to read this, this was the post IPO cash out by the insiders, and then you did have your bull market, but it was a perfect type 1, type 2 bat. And that tells me the fact that you put in a bat pattern where you did the perfect 1 and 2, like mechanically, that's a massive sign of saying, hey, I'm done. That's it. This is not all of this 1-2 bat action is just retracement behavior. And so this whole history of the last 3-4 years of Coinbase was just one big retrace of the initial range. And now that's over, and now go back and do another full retrace and retest of the total range. There's zero here. Zero. I would not entertain a long here. And even if we got to the 886, this would need so much more time to turn around. It's not worth it. Be aware. Okay. Again, people are claiming that there are opportunities in these kind of stocks. They are not. Definitely not. Here, Merck. Just kind of bouncing all over the place. But again, Merck. I think the takeaway, guys, with these big biotech or other companies and Merck has gone through the ringer, all right, but it's rebounded. It's put in, proper the formations you want to see. I mean, a bullish shark to a bearish shark, and you get a reaction and get oversold triggers. I mean, that's the other thing about the software. It's been a new kind of bell and whistle that we've added, but for the same thing for Bitcoin, and I really want to kind of put this to rest that until we got clear signals on a monthly basis, even, you're just assuming still down. These other ones that have gone through retraces like that, they're not nearly as severe, and you get oversold, you get oversold, you get oversold, and you go back up. Big difference. I think people that stay in the crypto space, like looking for that turnaround all this year, one, they're going to miss out on things that really are moving, and two, they probably won't realize until it's too late that crypto is probably 2 years away from turning around. What's up, Steven? I think IBM is an excellent one to be looking at. IBM just went through a retracement. Why? It's a crab pattern. It's not a... Look, embrace the patterns. Bullish or bearish. Okay? Because it gives us the framework. And something like IBM, or we're reacting off of this massive monthly crab pattern. All right? And this is going to be the thing I'll look for. We'll either get to target one and that'll be it, or even form some kind of oversold trigger at a higher level. But look, this continues over the long term. Over the next year or two, IBM continues higher on this path going forward. So I like it. The weekly is either weekly or daily has something down here. There was something shark on the daily. Like there's a shark here on the daily. I'll come back to this, but I did catch that and I do like it. It's 229 currently. All right, no, nothing yet, but this is a trender that's given us a nice retracement, and we're going to get real close. Maybe down at like 215-ish. But yeah, that's exactly the kind of situation I want to be looking for, and this is going to be different than I think it's what we're looking at between now and the end of the decade is going to be a different type of opportunity than what we had the first 4 or 5 years. And I think if you chase the speculative markets, they're just not going to work out as well as the trending markets. And that shows you. What's this GRAL? What the heck is that? Grail. I'll have to look at that. Oh, it's trial for cancer failed. I don't have to look at that, but look at that. It's up 7 today, but only because it was down a 50 yesterday. But look, another crab pattern, just like what we were saying in IBM. That looks like a reaction to me. No confirmation yet, but all right. I mean, this has had some devastating news. Get oversold, turn around, and resume that uptrend. Yeah, there's probably better ones than that, but that's the idea. LH, LabCorp. Yeah, this is a. Here's another one. Look at LabCorp, guys. Look at that trend. This is a $23 billion company. And just continuing. I'm trying to line up these. That's my real takeaway here is that um, when we're lining those up, they better have a hell of a track record behind them and buy them on a retracement, get oversold, and go. I mean, Meta, Microsoft, Bristol Myers. Yeah, again, let's get that list. I like BMY down here. Let it give it a retrace. Thank you. All right, cool. Cypher and Wolf. Cypher 17. Yo. What happened there? Oh, that was a data center thing. They became a data center. See, that's the other thing about crypto. People are just going to drop it for data center applications. Cypher's not bad. I mean, the only thing is it can't break 15. I'll say this, okay? Something like this might be better suited for a longer term option. Now, you've been sideways for 6 months, so that kind of hurts. You better be there at the right spot, and that was what was that, 2 days ago? You're up 2. But you got to be buying them on retracement. The confirmation line's like 15, 20. You're currently 17 today. I like it, speculatively, but it might be just better to try to say, hey, if this is going to be a big winner, we're probably going to 20 minimum. Give me some I don't know, give me some October 20 calls and maybe play it that way. We're only risking a few $100. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay, you guys are lucky. I just had a Starbucks delivery. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's get it. Wolf is like this. I think that's progress. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. I like it. I have to say, that's a beautiful chart. Terra Wolf. That's so much better than Bitcoin. You go back a year or more, just on a steady uptrend. What about the didn't this have something on like a monthly? All right, crazy harmonics. And I did want to tell everybody, listen, next Wednesday I'm doing a gold session thing where I'm going to literally, it's a dedicated session. It's going to be one of our strategy sessions where I'm going to focus on framework, type 1, type 2 return, and type 2 reversal. And I'm going to start with mostly focusing on type 1, but do the introduction of so that people understand this is the expectation for harmonic patterns and 1 to 2. Now, why is that so important down there? Why is that even a possibility? Because off of the bat, it did the crazy 1, and there's the 2. And that's pretty clean for a monthly chart, I got to say. In terms of where you are now, expectation is to go to 2025. That's target 2, no matter what. It's played out, no doubt. Are there others that look like this? Remember, it was Bitfarms had, was it Bitfarms? It was one of these. Refresh my memory. It was a data center thing. It wasn't, was it Bitfarm? It was like $2. Yeah, Bitfarm's $2. Bitfarm has a couple bullish patterns, but there was something on the monthly. Was it Hive or Hut? Maybe it was Hive. Hive down here at $2, but there was one that was a big type 2. A lot like that other. Now I'll say I'll bring it back Thursday. I'll find it. It's one of these miners. They're not all the same, but maybe they can change. A couple others. NBIS. I like Wolf, by the way. And data center play that's not quite the same as Iron Mountain, but you could say similar category. Yeah, NBIS. That's got legs. Weekly oversold was 82, now 100. And then the monthlies like that. It's pretty loco. What was it? Was it Digital Ocean? These are escaping me. Digital Ocean was another one that I came across a few months ago. And a really nice move off of that July. Last summer was like 30, now 60. Probably cooked for now. But can we get like a 1-2 thing? Type 1 and then type 2? That's in that whole area like NBIS. And look, monthly's more like that. Excuse me, I'm slurping in your ear. Wolf is a low carbon mission data center. Let's go. Let's go. Yep. Klarna, CLRN. That was an IPO, right? What's that sim? I'll just look it up. Klarna. Not Karma. CLAR. Oh. Well, insiders are dumping. I can't really give you much off of that. Yeah, it has to stabilize. I mean, a chart that looks like that gets exactly to the point that you're not looking for longs. You go back and look at its history. If you're trying to buy off of a trend channel like that, you're either way early or you're going to go through a lot of drawdown. Now, how would I consider something like this? When would I? It would be something, it would have to be like this, like put in a low, secondary low, come up, maybe a tertiary low, and then you're starting like a new, I can't even draw it, but a new channel going forward. I don't want to catch knives. That's a knife. And that might even be close to an exhaustion. But I don't want to touch it until you've got clear development. It's tough. Corning. I don't even want to look at this chart. GLW. It's probably sky high, right? Yep, I knew it. I knew it. Yep, that's a winner. That's a crazy winner. I don't, and again, look at this monthly chart. This has gone through some shake and bake. Okay, this was a big Y2K winner. Oh, yikes. Look at that. And now you do it again. That's amazing. I think you can just assume a 1618 off of that. It's kind of like this. You can't chase it at this point. You're up 5x in the last year, but this would be a likely target. 185, 180, something like that. The only way you can play those guys, all right, Corning is up, sky high, is just waiting for even a 5-minute oversold or hourly oversold at this point. You can't just chase it. You have to have a little micro retrace. Here's one that I do like, and it's finally retesting something I talked about a while back. Urban Outfitters doesn't look like much. Urban what? Look at this. This is where Harmonic comes in and is the bomb. Okay, 61, almost there. Massive type 2 bat pattern within the long-term uptrend, okay? 61. You're really close to that. And why is that so big? Check. And why'd that disappear? I don't know. You're almost done a reaction. You got a few things going on down here. But uptrend, multi-year, bang, and you're looking for this to stabilize down here and continue the next leg higher. One other one. Was it I think it was Crane? I think that no. No, I missed that. That was, although that's definitely what I want to see. What else? Bloom Energy BE. Man, you guys have a lot of symbols today. I haven't even checked in with NASDAQ. Look at that. Bloom Energy up 7, almost all-time new highs. Weekly chart, just keep on rocking. That's a big breakout for sure. Where's the jump on point though? Where could I get in on that? I mean, it really has not given too much in the way structurally, like 140. I don't know. Some of those, like the SMR and NNE, they are structurally have bigger patterns. I mean, SMR did hit the type 2, guys. Remember SMR, Smart Modular, or New Scale. SMOD, I think, is the other one. I'm starting to look here, and I said this a while back. At 1232 was the level. What was it yesterday? Today. Look at that. We hit it 1232 this morning. Yesterday we hit it as well. That's a big number for SMR. Let's keep an eye on that. Are we oversold though? Not really. Not yet. I think we're closer. And the weekly is a beautiful looping Gartley too. So we'll start to look literally next week. That's a big type 2 though. And that's exactly the kind of structural signal I've been saying where Hey, you get a huge breakaway move. All right, it comes back. That's a 75% retrace, but there's a pattern there. Type 2. Let's go. Let me check, guys. I haven't even looked at where are we with NASDAQ? Hold on. Up 260, 25, 23. Let me take a quick look. Oh, type 2. Couple of these. I'm looking long. I'm tempted to put on, uh, bring out the depth of market. We'll see that. I'll go through a few more, and then I'm going to log back on and see if that works. I said I did the SMR, NNE, nanonuclear, right? Nanonuclear 25. Is that done? Almost. We're looking in much like SMR. 2017 is the Type 2 bat, and the dot was yesterday, so today's day one. I would start looking at these. I do think these have um, big potential for trend continuation. And if you're going to go in that area, let's look at uranium plays. UEC at 16. I like it because you're on that uptrend. Keeps on trucking. All right. It's not going to be massive, but that continues to happen. Wow. 2 o'clock already. 2 o'clock. Hold on. What's up? 1 second. Okay. We looked at gold. We looked at silver. Platinum is, kind of the same deal. Just on that uptrend, 2K. Everyone asks me about PLG, and that's a speculative play, guys, but still okay. It got crazy. It came all the way back. I was praying for 188, but maybe that's it. I mean, this PLG is super speculative because look at the weekly. You're still needing to get out of this hole. Maybe that was the type 2 I wanted to look for. Do we have it on monthly? Nah, there was one or two mining plays I forgot. Couple more. UU. Right back at you. Energy fuels. Jeez, look at that. 22. 22. How do you play that? Because there's the monthly chart. Isn't that a dream? Look at the monthly pattern, guys. We all want. This is the dream with those low floaters. That you get a Gartley perfect T1 at $3 and it goes to 25. Those are not easy to capture. I mean, that's the well chosen example for sure. Going forward, I can't offer anything unless you're just going to wait for this 4 hour, like $18. You got to wait. You just got to be patient with it. It'll give you another dot, but you're right now you're still in between after that massive move. There's one that's really escaping my mind. And I just, is it, hold on. Was it? No, I don't think it was this. URA is doing good. Those uranium plays are going to continue to do well, and I would look for those. Those just as another area that's going to run. Ormat Technologies, no idea what this is. Electric utilities. Well, you know what? The utilities is great. That's a great vehicle to look at. You ORA, I would be looking to buy this at 104. Let the retracement come in. XLU, that's the utilities ETF. Okay, this thing 47 currently. Guys, XLU is just a monster. It's, you want an easy vehicle, XLU, and this, 2.47. It's no Verizon, but utilities play. I mean, that's just a forever play. XLU, maybe retest at 43 bucks. But the utilities are the way to go. Some of these others. Oh, you know what? Boeing was another one I mentioned a while back that felt like the long retracement it had been going through is almost over. I mean, go back here. And this should be another one we should be looking at. Boeing, talking 8, 9 years, sideways to down here, and broke out a year ago looking for that next retracement phase. I would be looking at Boeing like 234 right now. Can we get back to like 200 bucks? All these intersected lines, that's like 10 years of action converging. So again, the thing about what's going on currently, not a lot of fireworks, but a whole lot of development. Some things need more time. Others are getting really close to triggering long-term opportunities. Yeah. Quantum, QTUM, just farting around here. The Defiance ETF for Quantum. Yeah, I mean, that's probably, guys, this is the ETF for quantum stocks. This might be the best way to play the quantum sector. And that's the whole other thing the Bitcoin crew fails to address is the whole problem with quantum cryptography. Basically crack Bitcoin. And I think they're closer to the breakthroughs where they were saying 2030. For a while they were saying 2035. Then they were saying 2028. And now a lot of people are saying big quantum breakthroughs next year or even by the end of this year. That's another one. Daily pullback, 4 hour. I mean, it's not even retracing that much. I think this is one of these. I'll say it like this way, okay? This has a long way to go. But this is one of these ETFs that goes to 300 or 500 over the next many years. I'm not going to try to project anything more than just, looking, following this path forward. But yeah, I like that. I mean, I don't, even if that were to retrace to 80 bucks, it's longer term going to maintain that uptrend channel. NQ cracking, let's go. Guys, all right, I want to pull a trade or two before we get out of here. Oh, 04. Yeah, and I do think, look, yeah, I think this whole range for NQ is at stake. If I have buffering, what's the best way to do it? If I have buffering, let me know and we'll figure out something. Let me get this other set up here. So what I want to look for, guys, I want to pull a futures trade. Okay, 30-second time frame. This is some of the stuff we'll talk about. So next Wednesday, all right, we'll do that. I'm going to do a strategy session. I'll have more information about it on Thursday. And if you want to join me, the best way to do that, reach out to me on the Discord. I'm going to keep it another. It's for gold members and selected invitees, which is basically anybody that gets off their butt and contacts me and just say, hey, can I get that invite? So DM me on the Discord. And we're going to do type 1 trade, type 2. This is a type 1 shark at the moment. Can we go shark to 5-0? At 25.01. I do think that's cracking. But here, the 5-minute, Yeah, that's the real sign. And I'll go through in that session next Saturday or next Wednesday. Uh, these kind of conditions. I do like what's going on here because the 5 minute rolled over at that 50 level. This is not looking good. 30-second time frame. I think the bigger retraces right now of like 77, 70-ish are all at play down here. What about the 5 second? Oh, that's probably why too, because of the 5 second time frame. Having that running, that was the other reason why this thing was slow. Um, let me do that. You would do the Mag 7. I did most of them. Look, half the Mag 7 are trying to finish these retraces. That was what we started with today. Okay, some of those big ones and Nasdaq. Bitcoin's breaking down. S&P breaking down. Nasdaq breaking down. Am I concerned? No. I'm thinking let this thing do a flush to finally get oversold. And as I started today saying that, where it's a lot like last year, where we are really close to basically repeating week to week what we did last year. So go check out the beginning. Everyone else, listen, send your trading username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. You get the 14-day free trial. And, if you get the free trial, I'll send you the link for next week. All right. It'll be a private link, though. It'll be next Wednesday, probably 11 o'clock. And all my members and all my regulars, you guys know where to get me. They will be posted in the Discord as well. Let me go to my listen. Let me know if we buffer. I'm going to open up the depth of market, and I'll show you guys where I'm at so far today on some of these accounts. So I've got this kind of prop firm project going on currently, and it's part of what I've been doing on the member side a lot more this year, and I'm just starting to build it. I mean, we're just starting to really get into it. So, again, if you want to get with us, just DM me, okay? It's the easiest way to go. But let me show you this, and if it buffers, let me know in the chat, okay? Let's go here, and where's the other one? Let me, so far today, where are we with this? All right, these three accounts so far today uh, look like that. The bottom two are the two new accounts. The top account's a live account that I started trading. I pulled off of that one. I had one loser today, but the other two are like that. Earlier today, I was trading them. Um, where did we get to? Yeah, I'm almost qualified on both. And what I'm trying to do is basically open up a 25K account, trade one or two contracts, pass it in a day, which I've been doing, and then run the live accounts and see if I can do it within their consistency rules, which has been a real challenge. The only way to navigate around it is to scalp. You can't swing trade, you can't even 5 minute trade, but you can go off of the 5 minute signals. We had that. What was that? What time was that? That was 12:45. So that was like 15 minutes as we started. And then where's the RTH? Perfect RTH. That was really sweet. Man, you guys have to keep me. If I ramble on some other stocks and we see a 5 minute RTH signal like that, you got to let me know. Because that's the only thing about the futures is that you have to be on it. you miss the opportunity with the way that the only way I've found to play this properly is you have to be here. You have to be there when it completes and taking shots. 5 minute time frames like this, I don't have any patterns. Usually I'm going on a 5 second, literally a 5 second time frame to look at patterns like this, which all of that's tradable. Type 1 and then back for the 2. I think it's going to roll over. But if we're looking for patterns, you're not going to always get them on the 30 second, of course, or the 5 minute. Yeah, there might be some days where you don't get anything. Okay, there's a 30 second. That's what we were looking at earlier. Are we ready to pop out? Almost. There you go. There's amplified. Can you get that above the 50? Oh, that's interesting. Are we going to pop above this and go to 33? Kind of dud so far. Let me bring up that other side. Not yet. Rolling back down. What about S&P? Again, I need to be looking at that more. Let me just take a quick look. And I have not. I've been trading exclusively NQ. S&P. Well, there's the ADD symbol. Arrow, diamond, dot. That's been the other kind of bonus confirmation we've been isolating. This is a special configuration, guys, especially for new folks. If you're seeing an arrow, a diamond, a dot in that order particularly, okay, consider that a super signal. Call that super overbought. Expect some kind of reaction. I'm thinking even like where's the 5 minute? Yeah, we're deeply oversold right now. We're back in on S&P. 4 hour time frame is the other thing, guys. Check this out. So all in all, we haven't done much for months, but the 4 hour continues to ping pong, and I would be looking at just keep looking at that. 6804. So everything we talked about when we started today, are we going to see a breakdown, which takes us not just lower, but like a 10% correction lower? It's going to have to be this way. Under 6,800, and then definitely 6740 would be make or break. Under 6740, that's how we get triggered. NQ. Let's go back to NQ. Meh. Seemed like a lot. I mean, the last week has been really volatile, but look at this range. 2,500, you're 300 point range maximum. 30 seconds like that. There you go. All right, starting the move up. Okay, amplified busted out right there. 2501. Can we get to 33? That's a type 1 right there, guys. And no matter how I'm looking at that, frame it out like this. There's T1, software generates it. We know the trade does not begin until you hit the confirmation, but there's a limit to all of it, and it's 30 bars, no matter what the time frame. So if we don't get out of this hole by, what is it, 2:31 in the next 3 minutes, time-wise, that's a dud. The other, and this is where then I'd break it down, like 5 second pure precision, okay, entry point. Where can I get in on this? You're down here right back at that 25 25,002 level. Okay, anything else here? A couple patterns here. 25K, 995 hop level. I mean, again, treating these as like super small micro structural levels. And what we're looking for is to go back to like here at 33. All right, let me set it up. Let me take a little. I'll take a little shot here. Hold on. 8-point stop loss. And I'm going to use that little trigger right there. Trigger off of here. Get above the 50. All the same things. All right. I'm literally looking right here, 98 to 02-ish. Let me go. I'll go 02. Oh, no way. Come on, just scrape me up because now HSI right there. All right, get amplified back up. And you right here, that's a little 5-second time frame. You're looking for the return move off of all of that. There you go. All right, sorry, I didn't even have that in there. So I'm already in at 02, guys. And I'm just going to go to stop loss break even already. Down here at 02. And let's see how far we can get. Oh, come on. I'm looking for 12 minimum to go back there. Sorry about that. I didn't have that other screen. If we buffer, let me know. But my objective here is to line up those confirmations, take the shots. I get a move like this. I mean, I could hit it off literally right now, but I'm looking for 12. 200, there's 12. Come on, 1275. There you go. All right, I'll take it right here. All right, I took 180 right there. Just a quick scalp move. Why? Because I was playing the return from that 02 to 98 level up to 12. And if you're going to do the prop thing, that's the way to do it. 10, 15, 20-point scalp, something like that. You get it, you take it out. Let's see if we get one more shot here. But that was, look, I'm playing not only the little micro 5-second thing, but I also know I've got like this 30-second pattern and confirmation down here. So again, I'm looking for that 10, 20-point move off of maybe a bigger zone. And, just keep grabbing them like that. All right, 5-minute dot here helps my bullish argument. Let's try it one more time. Again, trying to get on a little scalpage. Yeah, there's 13. I should have probably re-entered on that. But look, there's that. Look, the 5-second time frame is a type 2 bearish pattern. I'm not going against that. Okay, let it do its thing against that Gartley. And then maybe we get another dot down here for that secondary entry. Try it again. Let's see what happens here. But again, specific scalping style techniques. The beauty of it is that, maybe you only need to be in front of the screen for an hour or two. You don't need to spend all day there. Let's try it again. There's a dot. My bigger zone is 02 to 98. Okay, and I think even I would look for target 2 because it's the same approach, but there's my dot. So, oh, diamond dot. Ooh, like that. Can we get that right now? There's the diamond. All right, I'm a little late. Oh, I got to switch my, hold on. I'm late. Come on, give it to me. Get above the 50. All I'm looking for, HSI above the 50. Looking for another scalp back up to 12-ish. I should be in at 02 already. I should already be in. Hold on. Can we get one more dip down? That's at 05. I'm willing to do that. Come on. Come on. HSI pointed the wrong way. Get it. Get it. I'm somewhere 02, 05-ish. That's my area target for this. HSI is going the wrong way on that little micro time frame. So I'm not yet. Not yet. Not yet. A little bit different than the last one. Come on. There you go. Get it back above. I'll go 05 here. $4.50. I'm expecting an immediate response. I'm going to go to break even. There you go. Up 100. Go back to 12. Let's take it again. Ah, took 130. Took it up to 12. That was the plan. This might go higher, but that's 2 trades. And right back down, scalping. No, I'm not using hotkey. It's a preset. See? Did you guys see that again? I'm just looking for these 10-point moves off of level confirmation. I mean, look, arrow dot diamond beauty. I know there's going to be some reaction, and the other thing I was looking for, all right, was HSI to get above the 50, get above the 50. And it finally really did with a nice little jig up. So the first one was 2 something. That was like 150 or 60. But that's the gist of the kind of scalping thing I really have been angling to do more of as a part of what we do, period. If you guys are interested, look, the thing to do, contact me on Discord. All right, and send me a note. And if you guys want to get in on our group for a couple weeks to check it out, just let me know. Beyond that, that last, the last 2, yeah, it's great. Yeah, we're there. So those last 2, we just did another like 400 there. Those were the minis, but micro might be a better place to go. Again, look, another 05 to 12 bounce. You guys could have scalped that again. Check it out. Look, your HSI and amplified are running above 50. I think this could go higher, even as high as 21. The key, big part of the battle, is just don't care. Like you bang $400-500, a couple scalps like that. Move on. Look for the next one. Micro is just instead of 20, it's what is it? 20 a point. It's 2 or something, or it's 50 cents. Instead of $5 a tick, it's 50 cents a tick. And the micro might be a good way to go. I think with the prop firms, some of them are too expensive. Others are pretty reasonable. But I think what it does is that it puts kind of that financial edge of demanding you perform. Like it's not really a full-on sim account because you got minimal money at stake, and you can blow out the account. I've blown out dozens of accounts, but it's more about developing those kind of scalping skills with the patterns, with the confirmation, and my whole angle with this is to show you guys how to do this on a micro time frame with that kind of precision. You know, I come in here, we're doing this for a long time. We can talk levels. We can talk, hey, there's a stock here, whatever. But when we're doing it like this, like, hey, here's a super micro chart. Type 1, type 2, confirmation, return. and then we're within ticks, okay, that is a powerful skill set. And those shorter term skill sets translate well when you're looking at longer term analysis because it's all fractal, it's all the same. Yeah, I'm on Apex, but I here this is Apex, my last few accounts. I'll tell you, I'm having a problem with the consistency rules because I'll get up 1,000 and then it'll retrace, get into a bet, like try to size up and get into a bigger trade. And, instead of like make most of the money on one contract and be like, all right, I'm going to go on two contracts. And then it goes against you and you're down like $400 or $350 and you blow out the 30% consistency rule. That's a bitch. But that's part of the exchange. Like, all right, you got to attack this a certain way. It's a scalping technique. All right, and it has to be automatic. I mean, really automatic. And so I've kind of boiled that down to where it's like, hey, if I get a bump of a few $100, I get a trade 150 to 300 and it gets the move pretty quickly. That's probably time to just hit eject. So that was two trades today, guys. If I get one more, I'll pull it. But the thing I'm looking for on the software and the thing that we'll talk about next week is responding to the software's triggers. All right? And I think it's something people overlook, but we're here, okay? You have a pattern and a level, but really the thing to focus on, do you have a T1 or T2? Do you have a T1 dollar sign? All right, we can play the return move. You just have to understand within what context. I mean, that's reaction, and then the type 2 return has to go back to retest the pattern. For new people, I have to tell you, okay, we're in a rare group. We're a relatively small group here. A few hundred people between YouTube and X watching right now, but we're in such the minority. Okay, what I'm trying to show you guys is that not only do these strategies, the framework repeats over and over again, but you can take it to this level with that kind of precision and maybe use the prop firm that type of a approach to get good at it. I mean, look at the bigger move. All right, there's the bigger move. And I said, I was thinking like 21 was possible. You got to 28. But we had 1 and 2 already within that little bit of a whatever. And then you could be done for the day because that's the other thing is like, most people do not have the time to sit in front of the screen all day or even be here at 2:45. But I will be doing more of this, folks. This has been my objective. I am currently talking to a couple prop firms where I'll do an affiliate thing and, kind of lead the way on it. Apex, Tradeify, Take Profit Trader right now, or I think it was My Funded Futures is the one I just set up for. Those are Apex accounts. But I think between this format and the software doing harmonics on that kind of level, all right, you guys know harmonic patterns are precision. They're money, fire. With the confirmation signals, what I just showed you on those two trades is achievable because we've measured out every aspect of the opportunity. Like, look, we know it's a type 1 reaction, it's a return, it's a reversal. And we've got obvious targets to take it to. I'm not just like saying, all right, there's some kind of XYZ triangle here, and I'm just going to buy it and hope it goes up 10 points. Every angle, every aspect's measured. Where are we on that 30-second shark? Because I do think this market's going to go lower. All right. Oh, yeah. Remember, it was the 30. Look, T1. This could be a bigger thing for the power hour. All right, type 1 reaction up to target 1 at 33.75 and then send it back down. But that's all of that is type 1, type 2 framework. So folks, so let's just kind of let's wrap it up. Let's see here. Let me do it this way. Okay, Thursday. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not giving away any today. Thursday, I will give away a 30-day package so you guys can join gold membership as well. Because I'm doing this on Mondays. I'm trying to add a second day for gold members. Guys, just hold on. I'll get there. Everyone else, send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. If you are not set up on futures, get yourself NQ futures upgrade. I think it's the TradingView premium package. It's cheap. It's like, I don't know, 15 or 25 bucks a month. And then get with the prop firm. I mean, I don't have an affiliate code yet, but once I do, I will share it. You can get it from anybody. My angle more is to make sure, okay, I've passed many accounts. I've failed dozens, but I've passed many accounts. I'm working on a couple of live accounts now and then get a payout from these guys and try the other ones and find out who are the best 2 or 3. I have some contacts at Tradeify. I've reached out, haven't heard back yet. And the other ones, like I said, Mind Funded Futures. I connected with them about a week ago. Either way, we'll do more of this Thursday, and we will do more of this as a part of what we do going forward. All right, so maybe what we do is cover the markets at first, and then we keep it looser towards the end of the session and hit like 2 or 3 trades. Let's see if we can get up here. I mean, I'm willing to hang on for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I got to split. I'm looking for 33. And why I'm looking for 33 is because it's a shark pattern. It has to do the type 1 reaction. We have counter indicator resistance forming, but look, arrow, diamond, a very good chance to get a dot up here, 27-ish, 33. So I'm waiting. And I guess that's the other part of it to consider. Because we know the patterns and we know a type 1, type 2. We're waiting for our levels. We got to. Otherwise, you're just going to randomly click buttons. And that's all part of the plan. Again, I'm going to talk a lot about this next Wednesday. Do a strategy session, private. But if you hit me up on the Discord, I'm happy to give you the link, the invite link. Can we get it? Can we get a dot? I like the diamond, and I do think if it's either like 21 or 33, but I'm looking for a retest down here as low as 77 based off the pattern. It's a type 1, go there, and then come back for the 2. So we'll cover some basic stuff like type 1, type 2. If you're unfamiliar with that, check out some of the videos. And then we'll go into detail, like the T1 with confirmation, what do we need to see, and where do we take it, and how much stop loss. Type 2 return, that's a little trickier, but that's what we had on the 5-second. If we have confirmation, we can trade these as reactions all over the place. Yeah, the 5-second is kind of capped right now. I don't know, is that clicking? Is it possible to do trading bot using the software? You can do alerts, and we are still at a bottleneck with what we can do on TradingView. We've been waiting to expand this, but they do have alert function. What I would recommend is you go in here, set up the alert. I'm trying to get all 3. So 2 updates I'll tell you I'm working on. One is a way that we can build in a combination of all 3 signals Because I've been saying, all right, arrow, diamond, dot, great. But can we build that into one indicator so that then we could put it into the alert function for TradingView? I think it's possible. I have to combine it. The other kind of feature that we're probably going to roll out, I need a little more time. I've said this. The panel, the combo panel, looks like this. It looks like HSI. I probably should give it different colors. But this is the combination of amplified and HSI. This is where we get the diamond. But you guys don't have access to this panel just yet. I'm doing my best. I'll try to get that to you soon. And that would be just an additional bell and whistle. But all of it is designed really for maximum confirmation at levels to define, really turn opportunity, patterns into opportunities. Here we go to 33. There you go. Getting up to 33. How did I know? Because we have to go to T1. There you go. There's 33, guys. Am I automatically going to sell that? No, I need confirmation. What was the high? 33.75 is T1. We hit 33.50. And I say that because if you understand the framework, okay, and we're here trading futures, and I'm down here, and I say, well, we still have to get to T1. I'm sure as hell not shorting anything. I know that we are in this reaction up segment, and that will define direction. I mean, for the next 20 minutes. But that's how we build out the framework for the day trade. Can we get a dot? I think we're going to go above this 33.75 and then dot it. Oh, we just printed another pattern here. Interesting. Let me stay on this. Let's see if we can get 33.75. In the meantime, the pattern, we just got a bat pattern off of that low intraday. I still need confirmation either way. And we're going to hit almost at target. And there's target 33.75. Bang it. And we're against the bat pattern up here. I need a dot. There's a dot, but not until we got to get that bar complete. Get that bar complete. I'm so glad this coffee came in. Let's see here. 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds, and then I'm just going to check. Where's HSI? HSI is above the 50. Okay, so that might be 2 or 3 more bars. We're not ready yet. And, oh, look what happened. We still went up. Still no bar. Oh, look at that. Look at what just happened, guys. Do you see that? Look, no. We're looking for 33.75. Something Trump must have just talked. We just went to 58.60. All right. No dot, no trigger. Okay. Why? Because we need that arrow, diamond, dot configuration. That was kind of a crazy move, but we've taken no action. I'm still looking for the return move lower, but I need a dot. That's why that dot is so critical. Pattern completion or return phase doesn't matter. See, there's a dot now. I hope no one got skunked on that because it wasn't ready yet. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, there's the dot. Where's the open of that trigger? Is 37.25. So I'm looking for this a little bit higher. Retest the dot area, 37.25, maybe as high as 43. Let's see if we get one more here. Hold on. Let me bring that back up. Yeah, this is my last one here. Looking for that. Oh, let me check. Yeah, remember what I was saying about HSI wasn't ready? Now it is. Come on, 37, man. I'm looking for that. I could go above 31 and a quarter. I'm waiting for that perfect check back. Down to 16. Come on. Tough one. I was, why I didn't take that, because I was looking for this little retest right there of the dot bar. That was my trigger. And that was at 37.25. I just shy of it. Hold on. And it's still there's the move. There's the type 1 move. Tough one. And I bet you there's something on the 5-second. Nah, that's a crazy bar. Hold on. Let me see if we get one more shot on the return. Because remember, we are 33.75 looking for this lower region. But now we go for there's T1, dollar sign, do the return to 31.25. Now. There you go. There you go. Other note, listen, I can call stuff all day, but without confirmation and ideal trigger behavior, like we had everything we were looking for, even though it went to 56 or 58, but the trade was after that, and it was looking on the retest at 37. Didn't happen. But now it's still only treated as a reaction. Can we get back for the 2? I would say one more test there. There you go. Get back up for one more retest. And I would love to see that 37 get clipped. I know 23 seems like a ways away, but that's the read. It's kind of like this. 1, 2, and then hit it up here for that larger move down. That would be the bigger of the 2. We're almost power hour, by the way. 5 minutes. Oh, okay. I'm going to change that account. That was from, go to account 75 now. Hold up. Let's see if we get this. How many of you guys are trading futures? How many of you trade futures every day? Gotta wait for a clean signal for sure. That was almost a clean signal for a scalp reaction, but I want it perfect. And it was within 6 ticks. 36.50. No, it was in 4 ticks. 37.25. 3 ticks. That happens, but it was still only a reaction. We're going to get back up here. You can already tell. If you were short off that 30-second, you better be out by now. You better be out, because even the zero, look, T1 dollar sign hits, no continuation, you're out. The reaction segment is over. Now we return it. Can we get to 31 and a quart? Maybe retest dot at 37 and a quart. There you go. That's exactly why. 30-second time frame, still up. I think we'll see 37 on here. Had we had some confirmation down there, maybe I would have played the return move. What about 5-second? Anything there? Ooh, that's really good. Arrow, diamond. Give me a dot. All of that around 32. Maybe 37. 5-second time frame. That's pretty sweet. Tough one. Tough one. It just kissed 31 and dumped it. I'm still waiting for that, though. Confirmation, guys. Mandatory. The only confirmation I have is that, 37. Yeah. Hold on. I mean, is this opening any eyes? Yeah, I like the hop, too, on the return as well. But either way, I still want the dot confirmation. We got the 31 and a quarter. Look, when you have a T1 or T2, that's great, but the highest probability reactive levels are going to have dot and a check back. No, no. It's gonna take a little time, and I can't hang around today. Maybe Thursday I can hang around some more. Yeah, let's keep it there. What is intra trade draw for Apex? I don't it doesn't matter to me. I mean, again, I think the rules have loosened up a little bit. I don't know what that is. And I'm open to recommendations. You guys have any of these outfits that are working for you, let me know. I've been doing a deep dive for the last 6 months on all of this. Some I don't like, others are pretty good. Yeah, I hope this is kind of an added benefit for everybody. How many bars after a dot do I wait? It's usually we get that check back within 3 to 5. Like you get a dot and the dot prints, it's pretty much go time. And if you have a tight configuration, arrow dot diamond or diamond dot, yeah. Bring this back here. Yeah, I just look for T2 and a dot, and it's not there yet. But I look for power hour. I'm looking for this retest. Give me confirmation if it's 33, 75, 31, because this larger pattern back here at 89's got to get tapped. Way I'm looking at that is 30 something down to 90. There's 40. There's 40. I don't know if we're going to get it. I think it's going to take a little while. The last trading session, do me a favor. If you're interested in checking out like what we did yesterday, watch those recordings or whatever, hit a DM. DM me on Discord. If you guys have questions, you want to get involved with what we do here, free trial, whatever, you know how I roll. It's the easiest way to do it. Just DM me on Discord. Also, got to say, watch out for the stupid. We still have these scammers on the basic chat. So I'm not soliciting for money. I'm not gonna. I don't have any trading programs. I don't even have any affiliate anything yet set up with any of these companies. So I'll let you know when. But again, just DM me. You'll see me on there, and I'll pop up a message on the main chat. And then if you want to get involved with next week, that's the other place to do it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to give any way packages away. We'll give away packages on Thursday. Yeah, no, scalping guys is the only way to do that prop thing. It's the only way. I mean, old days, I'd be like, all right, I'll sit here at 30 and I'll go down 15 and back up 15 because what I'm looking for is like 70 on the downside. You can't do that with the prop firm. With the consistency rule, that probably took me 20 accounts to really figure out the time frame and the exact strategy to avoid that because we're just trying to shoot for segments. Yeah. All right, guys, that's what I have for today. I'm going to wrap it up here or I'll be totally annihilated. Come on back on Thursday. All right. Everybody else, get the software. Dang it. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. And then back on Thursday, 12:30-ish, and we'll do some more fun. Great. All right, there it goes. There's my breakdown. No confirmation. That's all right. Let it go. Wait for the perfect setup. You'll get them. Come on back Thursday. Got it. All right, everybody. Thanks again. Good session. Catch you next time. Go get them.